Alright guys, I've been slacking on the videos lately. I've been waiting on this new microphone to come in, so I hope you enjoy the sound of it. But I figured might as well make this video. I have a decently old gameplay, but at the same time it was from year 2. So it's not year 1, but it's also a pretty decent gameplay with a decent amount of kills. I got a ton of body shots in this one. It's a real thriller. I wanted to talk about skill-based matchmaking and why you can in fact turn it off and the results will be positive. The thing is, people are saying, like, I've made an account, right? People are making these accounts where they get, a new account on PSN and they go into Destiny and they play and they realize, hey, I'm playing against terrible people and I can drop literally 40 kills every game with a blue scout rifle and a blue shotgun. The thing is, though, about those games, people are assuming that just because, if skill-based matchmaking was off, we'd be playing against those people all the time, and it wouldn't be fair because, people would get destroyed, and it's not good for the people who don't play the game as much, and it's going to be discouraging. Yes, at times it will be, but for the most part, the only reason we're playing against those people in the first place is because skill-based matchmaking exists. The reason, based off the system, why we're playing against bad people is because it's assuming we're bad. We just bought the game, we're new to the game, we just logged on, we made a new character. It's saying, hey, this person just bought the game, let's, get some players to match them against that are really bad, and it'll kind of, slowly introduce them into the waters, dip their feet in, give them a nice little flavor, a nice little touch to the water, and then slowly, the people they're playing against, as they get better, are going to get better, and they're going to be slowly introduced to the whole entire, cycle of getting better and skilled players and new players and stuff, which is decent. It's good at first. When you first buy the game, it should be matching you against people who also first bought the game or in general aren't that good, which is a good thing, and it helps introduce people into the game. But for people who previous to 2.0, for example, let's just say they had like a 0.7 KD or 0.9 KD, for the most part they're being rewarded by skill-based matchmaking. For people with the high KDs, high sniper percentages, or however you want to gauge it, people in general who would be referred to as good PvP players are being punished by this update, because now if they just want to relax, they want to listen to music, or maybe they're a streamer and they want to look at chat and everything, and they're being disrupted by people who only want to beat them and are playing against super sweaty people all the time, it gets annoying. It's fun in games like Halo where there's ranked playlists, and in general you're fighting for a higher ranking, and it's fun because games get close. In general, if you're playing in that setting, everyone has a desire to win, but in this case, Destiny PvP was made to be casual, and that's what it should be. You can't really make it out to be a competitive environment when it has absolutely no support for esports or anything related to that. There's no custom games in general. There's no support for it. And they're saying we want to make PvP as competitive as possible. We want to make sure matches are close. The thing is about that statement, matches were close when there was connection-based matchmaking, and the hit registration was better. Just in general, everything was better in 1.0. Everything was crispier, shot registration, accuracy. Basically what we're playing right now, and if you aren't playing Destiny and you're watching this, what we're playing right now is a watered down version of the original game. We have since nerfed auto rifles, we've nerfed pulse rifles, and then we've buffed them, and then we nerfed them again. We've buffed hand cannons, and then we've nerfed them again, and then we've nerfed them again, and then we buffed them, then we nerfed them. We've had shotguns nerfed 4 times, I think, in a row. We've had snipers nerfed recently. We'd have fusion rifles nerfed and buffed and nerfed and you get the point. We've had everything tampered with to the point where we're just playing a softer and a weaker version of the game we originally bought, and in this case, the game that I originally really liked to play. And now we're playing against super good people with a watered down skill gap to the point where there's no differentiation between who's better and who's not. The connection is skewed. There's laggy players everywhere. In general, yes, it's good, and they're doing it because they want to retain the majority of the player base, which would be the less skilled player, which is good for the game overall and helps people be introduced to the game and people stay playing the game, which is the general player base, right? That bottom 80% of PvP players, those people are really liking skill-based matchmaking, because now instead of getting destroyed by everyone who took the time to become actually good at the game, they're being handed terrible people to play against and farm kills off of, which is kind of annoying considering if you put the time in and you get better at a game, not even necessarily by putting the time in, because I don't want to make, you know, video games sound like it's like this grind, you know, you gotta put in the time, you gotta put in the hours, and you know you're gonna be great, like it's sports or something. If you become good at a game just from playing it an hour a day, you want to be rewarded for that, right? Or maybe you're just naturally good at video games. You should be rewarded by that, not by being playing or you're buying, you know, matchmaking against people who are as good or better. You want to play against the people that you would encounter on a normal day of Destiny 1.0. You want the matches to be smooth, based off connection, and in general, that's the desire, right? Especially for people who played 1.0, they know how it was, how great it was, and what PvP is now. What we've devolved into is watered down meta with weaker guns, weaker abilities. We've skewed the matchmaking to the point where we play against really good players or really bad players, depending on how good you are as a player. And in general, it's gotten a lot less fun, and a lot of people have stopped playing it because of that. It's a lot slower, it's a lot, you know, less crispy, I guess would be a good word. And in general, if we turn off skill-based matchmaking, it's not going to be a bad thing. You're not going to play against people who you're playing against when you first make a PSN account when there's skill-based matchmaking active. Because like I said, when you make a new PSN account and when skill-based matchmaking is live, it's recognizing because of skill-based matchmaking, you are a new player. Let me throw you against people who are new and or terrible at the game. And that's not going to happen with connection-based matchmaking. I live in California, right? That doesn't mean that everyone in California is terrible and that I'll destroy them. Previous to this, games were actually really close. And even though there's like, you know, 3 to 4 standoff players in the game that would usually generate most of the kills, the games were still competitive and the games were still close. That's their main excuse. We want to make sure the games are as close as possible. Well, the games were close, and they were also fun in the past, not as much anymore, but in general, they were still close. And, you know, you do want to retain the player, you know, the player majority, which is the lesser skilled player, but at the same time, you want to satisfy and reward the people who've been playing your game for a year and a half. I don't have a huge problem with it. I'm pretty much, you know, exhausted from Destiny. I play it when I stream it and when I want to record for a video. That's kind of it. That's my opinions. Any other YouTubers who have had opinions that contrast to mine, this isn't supposed to insult them in any way. Obviously, everyone has their own opinions. This is just how I feel about it, and from what I've experienced and the information I've gathered, the best opinion I can form. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the crispy new mic, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.